Welcome back to the channel, everybody, and I hope you're doing fine. So today we have another survey. Yeah, I know, we just had one, but now there's another one. And this time, your answers will directly help shape the future of Showdown 1896 and guide our development priorities. Okay, so that's gonna be interesting. They want to know more about our playstyle, our motivations, and how we see ourselves in the world of Hunt. Now, a few viewers reached out to me already and they said that some of these questions are a little bit odd. I didn't see this survey yet, so I'm gonna see it for the first time. Let's see how it's gonna go. As always, I wanna see your comments in the comment section. I wanna know what you think about it. And with that, let's go. Okay, and here we go. Showdown 1896 Player Survey 2025 Introduction. Welcome to the Showdown 1896 Player Survey for 2025. The survey will focus on your attitudes, behaviors, motivations, and demographics. Okay. This will help us prioritize future game development decisions and opportunities. The survey is available in fully localized text and okay, whatever. Expected time to complete the survey is 15 to 20 minutes. Yeah, I will probably be way above that anyway. Read the questions and select answers carefully. All responses are completely anonymous. Thank you for giving us feedback. Well, let's get started. I'm curious what this is gonna be, man. Showdown 1896 Player Survey 2025. Player motivations. Please tell us how much you agree or disagree with the following statements about why you play games in general. Wait, games in general? Not just Hunt? Okay. I enjoy games where careful planning leads to victory. Yeah, I actually like that. I did play a lot of strategy games back in the days, but I just like that planning is part of my gameplay. Exploring game worlds is one of my favorite parts. Absolutely, I strongly agree actually. Whenever I play a game that is an RPG or an adventure game, I almost never can finish the main quest because I get non-stop sidetracked because, oh, shiny over there, let's check that out. Then, I keep trying until I overcome tough challenges. Well, I like Souls games, so I strongly agree. I enjoy customizing my character base or gear. Yes, this is something that I'm surprised they didn't do yet. There's zero customization from the hunters in Hunt Showdown. And I said already years ago it would be cool to have, like, you know, parts that you unlock and then you equip them, or maybe some rings that you can actually see from the first person perspective. I'm not talking about charms. No charms. That's not what I mean. I play to win, not just to have fun. Strongly disagree. No. Yeah, nah, I don't. I enjoy feeling like there are limits to my powers in a game. Depends on the game that I'm playing. Because some games are all about, I need to find this absolutely broken build and be an absolute menace. For example, Path of Exile, right? In other games, I don't want that. When I play, for example, a horror game, it's okay that I may be defenseless. So, it really depends on the game. So, I will keep this neutral. I often imagine myself as the character I'm playing. Yes, when I create characters, then I try to make them look like me. That is kind of true. I enjoy smashing. Oh, another point also, and people will absolutely hate me for this one. Sometimes I cannot play games because I dislike the protagonist, because I cannot really identify with that one. So, yeah. For example, I know that Lies of P is a good game. I watched Joe's playthrough, like the complete thing, but I just could not play, you know, the small boy in my Souls game. But okay. I enjoy smashing, breaking, or blowing things up in games. Who doesn't? I strongly agree. I like completing every quest, task, or collectible. No, actually I don't. Sometimes this is tedious. I'm not somebody who needs 100% achievements. I actually do not have 100% achievements in Hunt Showdown. I'm still missing the achievement, visit every compound. So, yeah. There's that. So, nah. I try to, but I'm not forcing myself to get it done. Helping other players is important to me. Absolutely. I do a lot of guides, and sometimes when you use diplomacy, I don't want to say against me, but if you want to cooperate with me and be friends in-game, I would say 80% of the times, yeah. We can wave the white flag and be friends. A well-written story is just as important as gameplay. Depends on the game. If if I play a story-driven game, yes. For Hunt Showdown, it's kind of meh. I know that a lot of people like the lore from Hunt and were actually frustrated when they got rid of that in-game. But Hunt Showdown, the lore is amazing, so what they did is actually very high quality, in my opinion. And then they just ditched it. I'm surprised that Hunt never dipped deeper into the lore and implemented that a bit more in the gameplay. I would say it's neutral, because this is like in general, and I again have to say it really, really depends on the game. And let's see. I enjoy games that keep me on the edge of my seat. Yeah. I mean, sometimes I just want to chill when I play games, but no, it needs to be entertaining, engaging. So I would take that one. Let's take the next one. Hunt Showdown 1896 Player Survey 2025. Player motivations. Please tell us how much you agree or disagree with the following statements about why you play games in general. Why are they collecting data about gaming in general? Just apply that to Hunt, because sometimes the question depends a lot on the type of game that you're playing. Doesn't it? Okay. I often choose the destructive path just to see what happens. Yeah. Leaving things unfinished in a game annoys me. Nah, it's okay. I mean, I want to finish the game, but if I don't get 100% completion and maybe I missed 1 or 2 side quests or side bosses, that's okay. I prefer games that are fast-paced. Depends. A story-driven game doesn't always need to be fast-paced. My multiplayer shooters, some of them can be fast-paced. Hunt doesn't need to be fast-paced. It really depends. So, again, it's kind of odd because it really depends on the genre. Okay, I get invested in the storyline of the characters. No, not really. I don't. I like figuring out the best strategy for each situation. Yes, that I do. I like games that let me be creative or build things. Fortnite and Hunt Showdown. Again, it really depends. I played a lot of StarCraft. StarCraft 1, StarCraft 2. I played StarCraft 2 somewhat competitively. It sadly was never enough for Grandmaster, but what are you gonna do? And in games like that, yeah, sure, I like building. I like to be creative in my games. And some survival games where I build a base, that is cool too, but I do not want building in Hunt, for example. So I agree, but again, it always depends on the type of game you want to make. I enjoy playing games cooperatively with others. Off stream, yes. On stream, not so much. The reason for that is interacting with stream chat when you have like other people talking in Discord is sometimes a little bit complicated. Progressing the stronger levels and gear motivates me. Yes, absolutely. I'm just playing a game right now where you can prestige and it has a meaningful prestige and you need to do a lot of crafting and stuff like that. This is an absolute... The issue with Hunt sometimes is that there's just a token that is kind of the objective. And there is not much else to do. You either kill people or you get the token. And then everything else is kind of event points farming. I get that anyway. But there is no side quests that you have to gather something to go somewhere, which is fine for Hunt maybe, but this is something that and I'm not a huge fan of the Tarkov devs, but in Tarkov you always kind of have to look for something. You need something. It's not always just about killing people. I like games that really test my abilities. I absolutely do. Although my abilities are probably not very impressive. I like wandering off the path to see what I can find. I always do that. I love it. Climbing ranked ladders or leaderboards motivates me. No, I don't give a fuck about this. I'm too old for this. I play games for fun. Give me a good game. Sure, I want to win. And of course it feels better to win and not to lose. I mean, duh. But I prefer a good balanced game with a long drawn out fight over, well, it's over in 2 seconds because I completely stomped somebody or I got stomped. So I also think that for certain games, leaderboards are essential. Again, I'm gonna say StarCraft. These kind of games, absolutely. Without leaderboard, where's the point? A leaderboard for Hunt Showdown, absolutely fucking not. But okay. Games help me explore lives I can't in the real world. Well, I'm planning to play Battlefield 6 and all these other games, and I really, really hope they will never happen in the real world. So, but on the other hand, it's really nice when you play Horizon Zero Dawn, for example. Completely different worlds and types of stuff, and that is fun. So, again, it depends on the genre. Okay, next. Player motivations. Please tell us how much you agree or disagree with the following statement about why you play games in general. So, what is this? This whole survey feels weird. Because they should map this to hunt and not like gaming in general, because then you have the issue. There's always this lingering feeling in my head that they try to map this to hunt. And for some things I absolutely do love it in gaming, but I don't want to see it in hunt. So all the data that they're getting from me is kind of stained by that feeling. But alright, I enjoy becoming overpowered in games. Depends on the game. Yeah, sure, when I play a strategy game and I build an army and I can absolutely crush my opponent, that's freaking amazing. If I play a horror game where I can just dumpster all the, you know, horror AI, then what's the point of it? I like proving I'm better than other players. No, I don't give a fuck about this. Outthinking opponents is more satisfying than outshooting them. A mix. I mean, it's nice whenever you win a gunfight because you have an amazing ambush and you had cunning tactics. Sure, but landing 3 headshots in a row feels also pretty good. I like being part of a guild, clan, or in-game group. I agree. This is something that is probably a missed opportunity in Hunt Showdown. Also an Escape from Tarkov. Making clans, making guilds in-game, and then maybe you have like a pin for your clan, or maybe an emblem on the cape, right? I mean, not in Hunt. For Hunt, it would be cool, like a sheriff badge, and you can customize this for your clan. But dude, not 7.5 years later. Now I don't need to build a guild anymore. Causing chaos, but hey, if you ever, anybody out there is making a game similar to Hunt Showdown and Escape from Tarkov that you don't have clans or guilds, is a missed opportunity, because then you have more communities. Communities pull people back into the game, right? If I play Escape from Tarkov solo and I don't have much connections because I've never been in a guild, or the same for Hunt Showdown, yeah, maybe I drop the game a little bit faster compared to when I play in a guild. All the MMOs that I played, Dark Age of Camelot, yes, I'm old, World of Warcraft, Guild Wars 2, I played it hundreds and thousands of hours. And sometimes I think I would have quit these games a long time ago, but I didn't, because I made friends in these guilds. So, yeah. Causing chaos in the game world is fun for me. Well, I aim to unlock all achievements, trophies, unlockable items. Achievements, no. Trophies, no. Unlockable items, it depends. I'm curious about hidden secrets or lore in games. Lore, not. Secrets, yes. I spend, again, lore. I mean, if the lore is written well, then yeah, sure. I spend a lot of time tweaking appearances or environments. What does that mean? I mean, tweaking appearance, I understand, but tweaking environment? Like building my own house in a game and customizing that? Do they plan to give us like saloons that we can customize? I mean, one can dream. I mean, I'm still waiting for the movable targets and shooting range and the 2D replay. So, yeah. I actually do that though. When I play games where I build bases, like Valheim, for example, I spend quite, yeah, I want things to look nice. I enjoy games that feel like interactive movies or novels. Again, what are these questions? Where's this going? This feels so weird. Okay, I enjoy them feel like interactive movies. Or no. I can enjoy them, yes. The more action explosions, the better. I mean, again, who doesn't love that? But again, you can see already the issue here. These two can be kind of contradictory, right? That you have a movie, novel, but the other one is more fast-paced, more action, more explosions. It really depends on the kind of game that I'm playing. Okay. I enjoy stepping into a different world or life. Yeah, I do enjoy that. the actual life is very often depressing enough. I don't need it in my video games. I enjoy gaining mastery over complex mechanics. Gaining mastery over complex mechanics. Yeah, I would say so. Then next. Ooh, Hunt player experience. Here we go. How would you rate your overall experience with Hunt Showdown 1896? I would say satisfied. Although I have to say, since a year or two, there are a few things that I'm not super happy with, especially some design decisions that I do not understand, some balancing decisions that I do not understand, some marketing decisions that I do not understand, but I'm still playing the game and I have fun. I think it's very important to separate the streamer/content creator life from Hunt Showdown to the actual player experience of Hunt Showdown, and that is not the same. So I, as a player, am still most of the time happy with Hunt. I mean, sometimes Hunt kicks you in the nuts and spits you in the face, but hey. What 3 words best describe playing Hunt Showdown 1896 for you? Ooh, 3 words. Now, I could do now some funny content creator meme answers, but that's not the feedback that they're looking for. Okay, let's think for a second. And I think this would be my first word, tactics. What I like a lot about Hunt Showdown is that you can win fights just by playing in a smart way. It's not always about how fast can you shoot somebody in the head, of course, and there are people out there who can do that, but it's kinda, I like my approach to Hunt Showdown. Now you can of course say, well, it's just because you do not land any headshots, Mike, and partially true. Sometimes I do that though. But this is not just the thing that I want, because then I can play other games where there's actually more shooting. Now, if you think about it, the amount of time that you spend in Hunt actually shooting your weapons is not even that high. There's a lot of running, there's a lot of planning, compared to other games, like for example Call of Duty, where you're non-stop firing your gun. Hunt is definitely different, so I would say tactics. You can win with clever plays, with tactics, by making smart decisions, trying to make an educated guess, let's put it that way, what your opponent will do in the next 2 or 3 minutes, and then set a trap for them. I love it. Then, second label. Gritty is maybe not the word that I'm looking for, but I like my games when there are no pink ponies running around, or I do not have people running around in Nicki Minaj skins. You know, that always breaks absolutely the immersion. Hunt Showdown, overall, although I have to say this kinda shifted in the last couple of years, is a gritty, realistic game when it comes to visuals, and it's absolutely freaking stunning. So tactics, gritty, and then I probably would still go with who? Well, what do I pick for the third one? And I know that a few people will disagree here with me, but I would say it's a difficult and a hardcore game. This is something that I like because it means I can put thousands of hours into the game, and Hunt Showdown definitely has it. When somebody tells me, oh yeah, dude, I have 100 or 200 hours in Hunt Showdown, I know the guy still has a lot of exploring and can learn a lot about the game, which is a good thing, because otherwise it's boring. What's the point of a game that, you know, after 100 hours there's nothing more to offer when it comes to these extraction shooters, okay? I absolutely am fully aware that there are single-player games that have like 10 or 20 hours and they're good, okay? I'm just talking about Hunt Showdown. You can play that game for thousands of hours because of the PvP engagements always being different, and yeah, there's just so much variety to them. Maybe I should put that in there. Difficult, hardcore, variety, replayability. Yeah, I think replayability is a good point. Maybe I take out the gritty and dark and do replayability. I keep it the way it is. Next, what year did you first start playing the Hunt Showdown franchise? 2017. Now you're probably confused because early access was 2018, but there were actually internal tests, if I remember this correctly, where you could play. And I also did some voice acting for Hunt Showdown in 2017. Not for the game itself, that was for a voiceover contest. But I'm involved with Hunt Showdown be it an invited playtest or just getting involved with the game with videos, 2017. So, a very long time. How many hours in total have you played Hunt Showdown? Rough estimates are fine. Well, if we add another 0 here, then we're getting pretty dang close. How do you generally queue for bounty hunt missions? Solo, duos with random players, duos with friends, trios, solo. How would you describe your level of engagement with Hunt Showdown 1896? Well, I would say it's my main game. It is one of several games I play regularly. I'm new to the game. I played recently within the last 60 days. I used to play but have not more. I have not for more than 60 days. Now the question is how many people will actually click this, because somebody who is not active with Hunt anymore 2 months ago, will they still do the survey? I don't know how much data you will get, how good the data will be from that question. But alright. How much money do you spend on Hunt Showdown 1896 each month? Each month? Well, I do buy the battle passes upgrades, so, and we have a lot of battle passes each month. Sometimes I do spend BBs for some skins like Angel of Death and whatnot. But per month, now you have to keep in mind that the DLCs I get from CRYTEK, right? Because they use us for, you know, we advertise the skins for them by playing them and showing them to like hundreds and thousands of players, right? So they give us a key to play and to showcase that. So I'm not buying DLCs, but I do buy BBs. But not much. I would say $5 to $10 a month. Absolute max. And that includes battle passes too. It's probably this. But a more realistic approach would be here. Which of the following changes to Hunt Showdown 1896 would lead you to playing the game more? Poor. Max 5. Ways to customize my player profile. Better onboarding? No. Less frequent events. Actually, no, but don't call them events, make them seasons. An event that goes for 3 freaking months is just tiring. Improvements to the UI. Well, I'm gonna make a check here, but maybe this will change. I don't want the improvements, actually. This is what annoys me so much when they talk about the user interface. It's always about improvement, improvement, improvement. Just fix the shit that is not working right now. Still, custom ammo gets removed. The filter is sometimes not working. Removing items with hotkeys isn't working properly. Your traits jump around when you have some favored and you put some on your hunter. This is, I mean, I enjoy the new vertical display of stuff compared to the Netflix layout, but stop fucking improving that thing for now and fix the bugs that you have. It's now almost a freaking month and this thing is still buggy. Sorry, I can't talk. I'm just a little bit dummy today. So that would be great. New map, yes. So the best content for games are maps in general, right? A new boss is cool, but a boss is something I play against a boss for 1, 2, or maybe 3 weeks, or maybe a month. And then it's like, yeah, okay, that's just standard stuff, right? Maps, though, you can play a map for a year and still find paths or angles that you didn't see yet. On top of that, CRYTEK themselves can change the maps, and I would say with not that much effort, to just tweak a few things, maybe get rid of a window there, get rid of a crack, add a window somewhere, give new vaulting spots, so people can continuously explore the maps. So maps are always a win. Although I have to say, 4 maps is already pretty freaking good. PvE campaign, absolutely freaking not. I know a few people want that, but this is something, you play this probably once, and then you will never touch it again. So all the time, money and resources that went, or that might go, into a PvE campaign is just a flash in the pan. Okay? So please don't do this. More rewards when you prestige. Make just a good prestige system. If the prestiging still feels ass, then I will not get... Well, then the wrong... Okay. Now, I just assume that rewards are skins. Okay? So maybe I should be a little bit careful here. If you do something else, then maybe. Can I understand this as reworking the prestige system? Then maybe I put a checkmark here. Greater variety of new weapons. Yes. More limited time game. No. More teams in the mission. If they can do it with server performance, absolutely. Competitive rank mob, no. New boss toys, no. More frequent invests, no. Improvements to matchmaking, oh my god. No matter what they will do, people will have something to complain. Post-mission 2D replay system. Oh my god, it's actually there. That would be nice. So more teams in the mission. We actually had a bug back in the days where an extra team could queue in the server and was laggy as fuck every time that bug happened. But more teams in the mission, I think that would be cool. Very often the maps do feel empty and there's maybe, especially with trios. Duos maybe not so much, but trios another team would be great. Just one more team in each. For trios, yes. For duos, I'm not sure, but trios, you have one big fight and it's over very often. And then the rest is just like 20 minutes of walking around, looking for the boss, killing that, waiting for the banish, and then maybe you have to cross the whole map again because the extractions are ass. So for trios, absolutely. For duos, I don't know. Let's see, how much do you agree or disagree with the following statements? I trust that CRYTEK has players' interests in front of mind. Dude, I'm so happy that this is so anonymous. I trust that CRYTEK has player interests in front of mind. What else is there? Give me a second. I believe the game quality has improved over the last 6 months. No. I disagree with this. I would even say... okay, let me just fill this out and then I'm gonna explain. CRYTEK is transparent with its communication to players. I mean, they do communicate quite a bit lately. That is... Sometimes... I will be neutral to this one. Now, here's the issue. I have to be careful. Because I get different information compared to you guys. So I don't know how it feels for the regular Hunt player, how good CRYTEK is communicating to you. Because the official channels from Hunt to the player base is something that I actually almost never check. So I'm gonna keep this one neutral for that reason. But the game quality has definitely not improved. I do not understand the balancing from the silencer and other stuff. Burning is still kind of rough. You have 2 choke bombs, but 3 shots with the flare gun and stuff like that. That was all not really that necessary. The rework of the penetration and stuff like that. Okay. Yeah. Transparent. And then calling the pen rework because it was a bug for over 7 years. Yeah, okay. I trust that CRYTEK has player interests in front of mind. I do agree with that one, but let me expand, okay? They are, of course, a company and they need to make money, so sometimes they will have to do stuff that maybe is not great for us, because otherwise the game cannot run anymore. If you can't pay your people to develop the game is done. Right, so that they had to do a few monetization changes, I understand. I'm not happy about it, but I understand. Has player interest in front of mind? I think they do, because they gave back the vertical loadouts and for how the hunter recruit screen looks and stuff like that. So they work with the feedback that we give them. Sometimes. I don't think a lot of people were happy about Gunrunner to return, and they took that one. Blademancer takes a crap ton of time to get into the game, and so many people want it. But again, maybe this is just my streamer bubble. So maybe the broad community thinks differently. But I do think that they have player interests in front of mind. They have to, because whenever the player base is not happy and they stop playing, they're done. So you need to find a way to make money, but please the player base. Okay. Which platform do you primarily play Hunt Showdown? That will be PC, Steam. So Moises again. Other interests. What are your favorite TV shows? Optional. What are your favorite movies? Optional. What are your favorite music artists? Optional. Oh no. No. What? First of all, what do you want to do with that info? Are they looking for crossovers? Oh my god. I hope not, but this is what they Everybody will think that, okay? When they ask this, everybody will think about crossovers. The Post Malone crossover, I think that one was good. Because Post Malone was somebody who actually plays the game. Alright? If you take anybody else who's just doing it for the money, and yes, Post Malone got most likely a crap ton of money for this, this will just backfire severely. Also, I'm just gonna leave this blank. First of all, I don't really have favorites, so there's that. On average, how much money do you spend across all games you play in a typical month? This is none of your business. Would be nice to have an option to, yeah, dude, this is... What is this? $0 per month. There you go. How often do you use the following social media channels? Discord, daily. VK. Don't even know what it is. TikTok. Weekly just for the regular short uploads. Twitter, daily. I message Joe over there. Telegram, don't have that. Don't have that. Twitch, well, duh. Facebook, weekly because I upload shorts over there. WhatsApp. Dude, what the fuck? Now, okay, look, they probably don't do this, but this is so awkward because it feels like they're collecting data to sell. I mean, this is just tinfoil hat moment right now, and I should probably not say this, but I'm still gonna say it. WhatsApp in a Hunt Showdown survey? What? It would be nice when you ask stuff like this to explain what's the goal of the question. This is something that the CRYTEK surveys lack very often. What's the goal of the question? Why are you asking me this? Because the quality of my answer strongly depends on the goal that you have for it. So I know how important the question is. The more important the question is for me too, the better my answer will be. WhatsApp, daily. Reddit, daily. YouTube, well, daily. Instagram, weekly. Have you played any of the following games in the last 6 months? What in the... This one... This one... This one... This one... This one... last 6 months... Yes. This one... No. Ha! What is that? Others. Dude, no. Why are they asking so much? Okay. I mean, they probably try to find a genre or something like that. Which of these do you have the most experience with recently? What? The thing is, you have to select one. How would you say on Showdown compares to the Warhammer 40k Darktide? What? Well, hey guys, Editor Mike here. Just to let you know, because I talked to a few other people and they said they had different games for comparison. So apparently it depends what kind of games you selected. So me ranting, why did they pick this game? It's a consequence of my own choices. So just ignore my ranting about that. Or ranting, it's not really ranting. Questioning the choice. Yeah. Would have been good to let people know that that will come later then. Because I would have compared a different game than Darktide with Hunt. Maybe I would have picked then Grey Zone Warfare. But hey. Is there going to be a crossover with Warhammer? Which, actually, I'm a Warhammer fan, okay? In case you don't know, I post pictures of my minis. I have a painting channel. You see that in the link tray in the description below, by the way, if you follow that. But Hunt Showdown is better, Darktide is better. What the fuck? One is a PvP game and one is a co-op PvE game. How both are similar? Game has modes or features that highlight competing with other players. Wait, am I missing something? Darktide has no PvP at all. Wait, am I confusing stuff right now? It highlight competing. It has no PvP. You don't compete in this game. Which, by the way, would be cool though, but not a thing. Right, wait, am I losing my mind? Why ask a question about competition in a game that has PvE? Like who levels faster? Who gets the better gear faster? I understand competing in Hunt Showdown. Bro, what? Both are similar. What the game provides fast-paced, thrilling, and exciting scenarios. Dude, Hunt Showdown is not fast-paced, and it should not be fast-paced. Thrilling, yes. Exciting scenarios, absolutely. But they're not similar. Hunt Showdown is better. Warhammer 40k Darktide is better. Yeah, but for different reasons. Fast-paced? Hunt Showdown is not more fast-paced than Darktide. More thrilling, yes, because this is PvP. What? Oh my god, dude. What else is in the survey? Game provides an experience to be immersed in its worlds. They are similar. Okay, this actually works. Like, the environment in both games is crazy good. Game provides many tools to cause chaos and destruction in the world. Destruction in the world. What is destructible in Hunt Showdown? Doors and windows. I mean, to be fair, what's destructible in Darktide though? Barrels, which Hunt has too. Game provides careful decision-making and tactical planning scenarios. Depends on the difficulty in Darktide. The higher the difficulty, the less hack and slay it becomes, and you actually have to do more team play and cover each other with the special elites. But there's also, I think, game has multiple achievements, collectible missions to complete. Actually, Darktide is better when it comes to that. There's way more to achieve and to track. You have daily stuff that you get like currency for crafting and whatnot. So I would actually say Darktide is better. Game provides tools to express individuality through a character game level creator. Okay. How do I express my individuality in Hunt Showdown? Through a character. The character that lots of people can pick. The game? The level creator? The level creator in Hunt? The level creator in Darktide? Bro, I don't want to be too mean, and the video is going on for a long time, so... Game has modes of features designed collaborating with other players. I mean, they both have that, and they both should do that. Game gives the ability to gain more power the more you play. Darktide actually more than Hunt, because Hunt you reach Bloodline level 100, you have all the traits, then you unlock the weapons very quickly, and you're done. Darktide takes a little bit longer to get everything unlocked. So the grind in Darktide is there's a little bit more to do. Game provides a high level of challenge and requires skill to master. Both. I would even say that mastering Hunt is probably a little bit more difficult than Darktide. The Darktide veterans will probably be reeing now in the comment section. Game has elaborate storylines and a cast of multi-dimensional characters. I'm sorry, but Darktide with the in-game trailers and everything, all the story stuff, yes, there's a little bit of text in the game, is in YouTube trailers and other stuff. You do not have any cutscenes or characters in Hunt Showdown because you do not have like a lobby hub or something like that. Game has many secrets that be found through exploring. Secrets? Are they talking about their Easter eggs in Hunt Showdown? Okay. I'm scared. What is your age? What gender do you in what country do you live? What is your total annual income? What the fuck? What is the highest level of education you have completed? This survey does not feel good with the demographics. Prefer not to say, prefer not to say. I mean, dude, it doesn't really fucking matter because I'm not really doing this. In what country do you live? That one I have to give you? Alright, Austria. Prefer not to say. What is the highest level of education you have completed? High school. College degrees. Bachelor's degree. Bachelor's degree. Yeah, okay. Dude, actually, dude, you know what? Why is that? That's it? Okay. Well. Cool. Well, that survey was definitely interesting. So, some questions I do understand. This whole data mining did not feel good, though. And it would be nice if they would have explained in the survey why it is important for them how much money I make in a year. Or, you know. Sure, I mean, other people probably don't care about this, but... And again, this is feedback for CRYTEK. If anybody from CRYTEK is still watching at this point, please work on these questions, because it really depends the genre or whatever. You cannot compare this. And why Darktide? Okay, so I'm curious to read the comments under this video. That's gonna be hot. You know what? Let's just roll the outro. Okay, and that's it for today's survey. Well, that was an interesting one. I hope I was not too mean if anybody from CRYTEK is watching here. I just got caught off guard with a few things. Really got caught off guard. And some of the questions, you really have to be a little bit more precise. And also what the goal is of the question. Because it affects the answer. So, there you go. Thank you for watching this, by the way. And also my patrons. You guys, as always, freaking amazing. Thank you very much for supporting me over on Patreon. Thank you for watching. Our opinion matters. Well, let's see what they're gonna do with our info. And I also hope that they will show the results from this survey. And see you next one. Until then, have a good day and bye-bye.